To my healthy living plan. My name is Julio Martinez. uh, my plan is based on healthy living. That's what I did with my community, with an emphasis on physical fitness and nutrition. This is just my intro slide. You can see pretty basic slide. All right, let's move on. All right, now let's begin with healthy living. Healthy living is imperative to living a healthy lifestyle. Basically, if you want to live healthy, you kind of have to do certain things to get to that point. And you're going to find out what those things are when we get further on within the PowerPoint. So one of those things it requires is physical fitness. You don't have to be a star athlete or anything, but you at least have to do some physical activity at least every day or every other day just to get you to burn some calories. And the other thing that it requires is nutrition. You can do as much fitness as you can. You can run a marathon, but if your eating habits are to go to get McDonald's every day or for every meal, all that physical fitness and all those extra calories you burn, it's not going to do anything for your body. So basically, to reach the point of healthy living, you're going to have to incorporate both of these into your lifestyle. At least that's the goal. Okay, in this side, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my community. My community right now, I live in Lake County, Illinois. It's northern county in Illinois. It's right next to Chicago and right next to McHenry County. Basically, Chicago is the biggest county in the state, so we're okay. We're not that big. In this county, I focused on a local community church. That is who I'm going to be educating with my healthy living presentation. And then for that church, I found my liaison through my parents because they attend that church. And I used to attend that church when I was a kid, but I became an adult and I just didn't have time to go to church that much. But there I met my liaison, Claudia Rodriguez, and she's been helping me with all the local church community, from making a presentation, from scheduling a presentation there, to meeting all the church members and getting to know them so that they're comfortable with me presenting to them. But my main concern with this community is that the obesity rate of Lake County, Illinois, is 24.7%. And since the obesity rate is so high, I plan on doing healthy living. At least this is a good way to combat obesity in my community. Okay, for this slide, we're going to be talking about the definition of community. My community of Lake County, Illinois currently has a population of 709,150 people. It's fairly large. It's compared to Chicago, it's nothing. They have millions over there, but we're not talking about Chicago right now. There are many local services that my community provides. Local fire departments, local police departments. There's town hall centers, usually where the local governments get together and they decide, where the local budget's going to go to. We have shopping centers. We have restaurants. Postal service. We have just about everything. We also have an abundance of medical centers. We have a bunch of outpatient centers. We have local hospitals. They're all usually 20 to 25 minutes. Even if it doesn't matter where you live, they're usually within 20 to 25 minutes. So that's pretty good if you have a local emergency. And then also, there's about 49.7% females compared to men in this community, and the top three demographics are white, Hispanic, and Asian. So hopefully that gives you a better view of my community. Okay, So regarding the windshield survey for my community, I found out that my community offers many school services such as homeschooling, getting your high school diploma. They even have homeless student services, and they also have like a regional safe school. There are also a variety of practicing religions in my community. I just wanted to note that because I am working with a local church community, so it is important to know that. And also, I would like to say that a weakness of my community is that they tend to rely heavy on the local government, the local town hall, whether it's getting infrastructure done with the roads, getting them redone, maybe there's a bunch of potholes, or they want to make a new building, maybe make a new pool or something for the community. The issue is with that is that their budget isn't large enough to do everything. So a few things that maybe could be more important than others aren't done or they're delayed, and that could be potentially dangerous to the community, in my opinion. Okay. For my community assessment, I define this as the exploration of local community in its entirety, from the people to the house assessment to the community engagement. It's a lot of little factors that go in there. One of the interesting facts I've seen is that the residents under the age of 18 are at a 23.5% of the community. Residents over the age of 65 are at 15.4%. And then in between, it's the anything above 18 or more to the 65, from young adults to middle-aged adults. The three causes of morbidity in Illinois are heart disease, cancer, and COVID-19. An interesting fact of this is when I compared it to the national statistics of the United States, these three causes are also the same nationally. So that I found that very interesting. Another statistic that's very important is the obesity rate for Lake County, Illinois, which is at 24.7%. This is also very important because my presentation is on healthy living, and and this is the reason basically for me doing it healthy living, because the obesity rate is so high in my county. All right. For the diagnosis of my community, I diagnosed my community with at risk of obesity due to the obesity rate being 24.7% in my county. Obesity is a disease caused by an unhealthy diet that can lead to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and high blood pressure. It can just lead to a multitude of problems, and it is not ideal, and honestly, you can't really live a long life if you're obese. One of the strengths, though, that I've noticed for this community to combat such a disease like this is that we do offer several healthcare centers nearby. So if you need any medical attention or even advice, you can go to one of these centers, local doctor's office. If you really need to go to the hospital, you have that too. And they'll give you the resources that you need to lose weight or lead you down a better path. But one of the major weaknesses of my community, at least regarding the diagnosis of obesity, is that heart disease and cancer are two of the top causes of morbidity in my county. And both of those can come from obesity, heart disease and cancer. And it also doesn't help that my community has many fast food establishments all over the county. So if people want, to start eating unhealthy because all these places are nearby, or you just don't want to cook your meals. I think that's a very big problem that we have. Okay, so for my project, I have 3 goals, 2 short-term goals and 1 long-term goal. So for my short-term goal number 1, I want to teach the community how physical fitness can improve healthy living with a moderate number of participants in the church community that I will teach. And I'll usually give them maybe 2 weeks, and then I'll check their progress afterwards. For the short-term goal number 2, I want to teach the community how nutrition can help improve healthy living with a moderate amount of participants. And I also will give them 2 weeks so I can check if they made any little progress, since it's just a short-term goal. This long-term goal is to teach the community how healthy living can improve their way of living by them utilizing physical fitness and nutrition in their way of living. Combining both of those will lead to healthy living in the long term. But that goal will take at least 3 months, so we'll see how that goes in the future. All right, so this slide contains my community partner, Claudia Rodriguez, and the resources. I met Claudia when I went to the church with my parents because I need meet a liaison, and they introduced me to her. She is the activity coordinator for the church. So she basically, her job is to set up activities for the church members for which they can all participate. But they have to align with the church. So it's kind of like a Catholic church, so it has to be within the realm of Catholic. She can't do anything that's non-religious. That wouldn't fit with the church. But she's been doing that for a couple of years. I think she's been going to the church over 10 years. She's been doing the activities there for a while. And then I met her. It's been great. We communicated. I told her about my project, and she even got me to talk to the church administrators. I got to know them, a few of the pastor, and we went over what my presentation was going to be about, healthy living, and they said it was okay. So I got the green light to go ahead with my presentation, and then she helped me set up the appointments for my presentations. I decided to do 2. I didn't want to go too many times, just 2 would be enough because it's a small church. It's not like one of those big ones. But I appreciate all the help she gave me. And then for the resources that I wanted to provide for her, is that the Open Arms Mission, it's a nonprofit organization that partners with local churches in providing human resources for low-income families. So they have like food banks, food drives for local low-income families. They even have some financial resources they can provide for them, for families in need. I thought that would be a good way to, get their church to maybe donate a few things to them, help them out. I thought that would help the community. Another organization that I thought was very interesting was the Adopt a Highway. This is a local community in Lake County. Basically, it's a public service that you can provide for a local highway. You can get a group of your friends or get the local church followers, and they can go and pick litter around the local highway to make it more clean and give back to the community. I thought that's a good idea. Plus, it's low budget. It requires no money, really. I think it's a great idea. Okay. For my interventions activity part 1. So my intervention utilized 3 different resources to help me accomplish my goals. My first resource I utilized was I made a PowerPoint based on healthy living. So this PowerPoint contained slides of healthy living, physical fitness, and why it's important. It also provided some slides based on nutrition and why it also is important. and it showed how both are necessary to incorporate or to achieve healthy living. It's a very good slide. I think it's about 12 or so slides. It's very fast, but it contains a lot of vital information. Okay, for my second intervention activity, part 2. So for this one, my second resource that I utilized was a brochure for healthy living. This brochure contained facts on what exactly healthy living is. It provided points on why it's important. It also contained points or information on both physical fitness and nutrition, as they're both necessary to achieve healthy living. And then towards the end of the brochure, I put a few resources, a few websites that actually can help you with your healthy living goals. A lot of these websites tell you exactly, how to diet, what kind of exercises you can do, how to live a healthy lifestyle, in case people needed a little bit more guidance or information before beginning their healthy living lifestyle. Okay, for my intervention activity part 3, my last resource was a poster I created. Technically, I didn't need another poster. It was either a poster or a PowerPoint, but I felt that I needed a little bit more regarding my presentation. I just wanted to look a little more professional. So this poster contains healthy living in the middle. There's a section in the middle, and then there's a section on the left for physical fitness. There's also a little section on the right for nutrition. They all provided little facts about why they're all important and why they're necessary to achieve healthy living. So I showed the church followers about the poster, and they thought it was nice. Little extra thing to help me get across my educational points during my presentation. I thought it was worth bringing along. Okay, so this is basically my presentation set up at the church. My liaison, Claudia, was able to find me a little spot in the corner of the church where I was able to set up. She provided me 2 tables because I needed one for the poster. She even provided me a TV that they had, and I was able to hook up my PowerPoint from my laptop to that TV. So it made things a bit easier, and I was able to show them the PowerPoint. You can tell the healthy living there, PowerPoint, and I also had the poster to the left of me there, just as another viewpoint, prop they could see. And I also put the brochures right in front of the TV where the PowerPoint is, and then I handed those out afterwards. So I presented 2 times at the church, once on a Sunday, another on a Tuesday. I felt 2 would be enough. And also, I couldn't really take a picture of this, but during my presentation, the interactive activity was me displaying some body weight exercises, such as jogging in place, jumping jacks. You could do a few push-ups, planks, simple exercises, running in place, just simple things for them to at least they can do for their physical fitness portion of the healthy living. I wanted to at least provide something that they would know. And then after the presentation was over, I pretty much answered any questions that they had regarding healthy living. They had a few questions like, oh, can I eat this? What's considered a healthy diet? How many calories should I eat? Just similar questions like that. I helped them answer. But it was an enjoyable experience. I was a little nervous, but Claudia helped me feel at home. And then the church fathers were very respectful about my presentation. And it was really nice. It was a great experience. All right. For the evaluation portion of my presentation in general, So after the first presentation with my church, I did receive a little feedback when I went to the second presentation, because a few of the followers were there from the first presentation, and they did tell me that they began exercising more and eating healthier. They might not have followed the exercises that I showed them, but a few of them were telling me, oh, they've been taking more long walks. They went on a jog the other day, and that they do feel much better after taking that little jog or that little walk. And I was said, okay, that's great. Just keep it up, be consistent, and it can lead to being to a healthier lifestyle. And then they also did tell me, for instance, for their nutrition, they have been altering their diet. They aren't eating 100% healthier, but they did say they're trying to incorporate more vegetables and fruits into the diet instead of eating candy or a chocolate bar. So they are improving slowly, but surely they are. So I would say that my short-term goals so far, they're moving in the right direction, but I would say still a bit too early to tell. For my long-term goal, that requires 3 months. It is a long-term goal, but I am going to begin attending the church on Sundays with my parents, so I can at least check their progress while I attend the church on Sundays. But hopefully, it all goes well in the long run. Okay, so this community project has taught me many different things. It's taught me how diverse my community is. Just the demographics in general. We have quite a bit of everything in my community. I thought that was very interesting. I didn't know there were so many resources to the public in my community, especially for low-income families. I had no idea. So learning about that was very, very good. And it also helped. I also like that there's a lot of non-profit organizations that are trying to help out other people in the community. I thought that was very great and beneficial, at least. But another interesting fact is that I learned about the major illnesses that this community faces daily, which is the heart disease, cancer, since those seem to run rampant around the United States in general. So I thought, maybe my community can tend to have more things in place that can help prevent that, or at least lower the rate for the residents. Another weakness that I was concerned about is the heavy reliance on the local government, because it seems that my community basically can't really do anything without the help of the local government, whether it's rebuilding new roads, new streets, potholes, building new establishments, maybe a new park. They basically have to go to the town hall to get that done. And even then, it might not get passed by the local government administrators. So I thought that was, that could be better, but we'll see. And then I also learned that even local church communities matter. Working with this church has shown me that even small communities like churches, they do matter, because they live in this community. They've lived here, for many years, so they know it better than anyone else. And just seeing their input on the community and just my project in general, educating them about health and healthy living and physical fitness with nutrition, it was great, because I guess many of them didn't even know some of the facts I was teaching them. So I thought that was very nice, and this project has kind of shown me how the real world is. It was nice. I definitely tend to be more involved in my community from now on. Okay, these are my references. There's a lot of them. Try not to put too many, but I did have a lot to say. Thank you for coming to my presentation. Thank you for watching it. I hope I did a good job. I hope you enjoyed it. And honestly, if you ever want to come to Lake County, Illinois, feel free. We're a great community. We're open to everybody. Feel free to come by anytime. We have plenty of activities for anybody. All right. Thank you very much.